Hello everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get right into what I believe are some of the best League starters. Uh, First, we have to talk about what makes a good League starter. If you remember my League starter video from last League, your League starter really should require no uniques. You can't be relying, like I said last League, on like scolds or something. You know, you can't have any uniques because you're not going to have any uniques on your League starter. At least until, if you're a true gamer, day one, you can probably snag one. Otherwise, most people are going to be getting any uniques they need, like day two, day three. And you just don't want to be relying on, having to get one of those to start your build. Your build should also be able to work off of a 4 to 5 link, right? You're going to get to maps, you're probably only going to have a 4 link, and you want to work towards that 5 link. So, it should be perfectly fine for clearing and for single target on a 4 link at least. Some of the really good League starters are going to be scaling off of gem levels. So you can get away with some weapon things on League start. It's a little iffier because you do have to find a weapon. You have to ID like a decent enough one. Whereas all of your spells, you just level them up, right? You're going through the story. You should have them somewhere socketed in your gear, even if you're not using it. So you can be leveling them up. And so you'll be able to use them once you hit maps because they're already scaled up to what you need them to be. This is what makes melee or attack skills in general a little more difficult as League starters because you do need to find a weapon to scale your damage instead of just having it scaled for free by, having your gem in a gear somewhere. Spells are great because they can be scaled even higher with mines and totems, right? You can sit here and you can cast your arc, or you can put your arc in a mine and have 5 arcs go onto the ground for what is practically one action. Same with a totem, they're going to sit there, they're going to do all of your spells for you, which is very, very nice. So the big thing with Delirium, you have to be able to clear while moving, or at least require very little actions per pack or per multiple packs. The Delirium fog is going to first spawn out in an area, and then it's going to expand. So it's going to expand in what, is practically, like a large circle or large oval. And after it expands, it's going to start moving. The entire circle, the entire oval of fog is going to start moving across the map. Your build has to at least keep up with the fog or start progressing through the fog while it's moving. So, it's kind of like a conveyor belt. The fog is a conveyor belt that is going to be spawning mobs. You have to outpace the conveyor belt or your build, kind of just sucks for this league, right? If you can't keep up or surpass the movement of the Delirium fog, it's just not going to be very fun. That's the whole league mechanic, is being within that fog, that, kind of Delirium influence, and killing all of the monsters that spawn there. There will also be Delirium bosses. Now, you have to have a little single target with your build, right? It can't all be nice big explosions of packs, and then you hit a boss, and you're sitting there for 30 seconds, I don't know, barraging it or something because you wanted to play Tornado Shot or Lightning Arrow on League Start. You have to have a little bit of single target, right? It's got to be decent enough to kill what is practically, like a rare plus, or even the map bosses. Once you hit those with Delirium Fog, they get a lot better loot. You're going to be wanting to kill them. So you have to have some decent single target. Obviously, unless you have some friend who's going to sit there and support you with all of the damage auras, then you can probably get away with wands and tornado shot, whatever you want. If you got a support, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So in my opinion, the best league starter, it's going to be either Essence Drain Contagion or Arc / Ball Lightning Mines. This doesn't really mean the other builds are going to be bad. If you've played Mines or Essence Drain before and don't like that playstyle, there will be other builds in this guide, and I'm sure you can find other builds that you kind of want to play. This is kind of just for people who want the cream of the crop, right? Like, you want to have like a really solid, really good option for this league because it's going to be a fun one, right? You don't want to, like, it feels so bad if you have like a bad league start, you know, you feel left behind. You have to kind of like play catch up. It's just not a good feeling. So these are going to be just super, super solid builds. And, you know, there should be no bad times here, right? We want to have all good times. So ED Contagion, it's probably what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to practice it a little bit more. I've done some Arc and Ball Lightning, and I really like that. But I'm worried ED Contagion is just going to be like too good, right? Like the Fog's going to spawn all of these monsters on top of all of the influence and map monsters and whatever you get for Sextants. It's just going to be so many mobs. It's going to be so dense. And ED Contagion, it's 2 casts, and it's going to clear your screen, and it might clear the next screen too. And that is just too much for 2 casts. It's going to be great. The clear speed is probably going to be some of the best for a League Start build for Delirium. The single target is going to be all right enough. It's going to be kind of annoying, to be honest. You have to like press a bunch of buttons. It's not like you can just cast, like keep casting ED on something, right? Like you have to put down your totem. You probably have to also be casting a curse. Like you have to be doing all of this kind of like pre-planning or just a bunch of actions before you get the full amount of your single target. You know, and that's kind of annoying, but for me, I think I'm just going to have to bite that bullet because, you know, ED Contagion is just going to be so good. I think the second best could be Arc / Ball Lightning Mines. It's going to be a little less clear speed, right? You're not going to be able to get those ED Contagion chains, but you will make it up in single target. Also, this is a much simpler clear and single target rotation, right? You lay your mines, you detonate them. That's all you have to do. There's no putting down like a totem for blight, wither, like a curse, like all this stuff, you know? You just lay all your mines down, you pop them with blast chain, you just keep throwing them down. You know, it's super simple, super easy. You know, you still have to press 2 buttons, which is definitely more than 1 with some of these builds. But, I mean, that's all right. It's mines. It's definitely worth it. If you plan to kill a bunch of bosses, like if you're just going to spam Shaper, Uber Elder, Cyrus all day, I would definitely recommend you, you know, play a mine build. That's what the staple of single target League starters have been, is, you know, just mines. You get to front load all of your damage. And like I said, with Blast Chain, you know, you put down your 23 some odd, you know, mines, you detonate them. Blast Chain, you know, starts the detonation. They don't all go off at once, and you can keep laying mines while that detonation goes. You keep the blast chain going even more, and it's just a bunch of really free front-loaded damage that you get. So that's always really nice. You can start with Arc. Arc is really nice for clearing those low maps, but you'll probably want to go to Ball Lightning for the high single target bosses or just for red maps because it is like a little bit more damage and they are persistent, right? You have the Ball Lightning that's just going to keep moving for a little bit. Compared with Arc, it's just, you know, it's shot out there, it's done. You know, if it doesn't chain, it's not going to do any more damage. The Ball Lightning, you know, it gets to move a little bit, which is pretty nice. Especially, you know, it helps a little survivability because it'll move for a little while, and, you know, if something strangles, then it'll get picked up by that. I think some other great builds for Delirium are going to be totem builds. You know, just like mines, you know, you put your spell in a totem, you put the totem down, and you get a lot of value for the one action of you putting the totem down. Again, you know, spell totems, it scales off spell levels. That's sick. A lot of totem trees are really similar, right? You get spell crit, you get totem damage, and you get some generic spell damage. If you want, you know, you can pick up some elemental damage. That's totally fine. But, you know, it's all pretty similar. Obviously, you get life as well. A lot of them are going to be mind over matter, which is very nice. You know, it's a lot of free survivability that you get. So I think some options that are going to perform very well for League Start, it's going to be stuff like Freezing Pulse Totems. They're very nice for early League clear. You know, you put the totem down and it's going to shoot like 5 freezing pulses out. They're kind of like in a fan, so that's really nice. It's going to be nice for Delirium Fog. You know, you put your totems down, you walk through the mirror, the fog spawns and they're shooting them, you can already be moving. You know your totems are going to be killing the monsters behind you. So that's very nice. It has a lot of value in clear speed, but the downside to Freezing Pulse totems is their single target is a little bit lacking until you get some more gear. It's enough, but it's not really enough to be like super comfortable with it. The plus side to Freezing Pulse is, they're shooting right away, whereas the next spell totem I would recommend is going to be Divine Ire. Divine Ire, it's like a Kamehameha. It takes a little bit. You have to charge it, or rather the totem has to charge up a little bit. So their clear speed is going to be a little bit less, and it's a little more uncomfortable than some people are used to. Since you have to lay the totem down, it's not really doing much for the first little while, and then it shoots off its big bolt of energy, killing everything. So you do have to kind of get used to that with Divine Ire totems. They are going to have a little less clear speed than Freezing Pulse. You're not getting like 5 of these fan projectiles like shooting out everywhere all the time. You put it down, it charges, it shoots a big bolt, which is really good. But it's a little less clear speed. Although you get the less clear speed, I think the trade-off for the single target can be worth it with Divine Ire. Killing bosses in Delirium is going to be really important. Killing map bosses that are also, in the fog, they've been fogged. That's going to be really important, right? You're going to get a lot more rewards for killing Delirium bosses and map bosses when they have the fog on them. So Divine Ire totems, while they are kind of clunky, I think you can get used to that. And the clear speed, while is a little less, I think it'll be good enough, especially for what you make up with in single target. All right, so no totems, no more mines. Here's just a straight up spell if you don't want to deal with mine detonation or totem shenanigans. I would definitely recommend Stormbrand. It's been solid for, I feel like it's been solid for like years now. It's just like always really nice. It has like really nice clear speed. You can cast your brands. You have to sit there. You are moving. You have to stop moving, cast your brand, but then you get to recall them. The recall doesn't really count as an action since your character can still be moving and it's not going to stop to cast anything for the recall, right? You're going to be running. You press the recall button and your character is still running, and then the brands are recalled to you. And, you can be in the middle of a pack while you run. Your brands are recalled. It kills the pack, and then you can keep moving. Maybe you can recall them again, but you'll probably have to, recast a Stormbrand every once in a while. It lets you get some free actions while moving, which is really, really good for clearing. And it's going to be really nice for the fog. The single target, it's not the best, again, but for a League starter, it's going to be good enough, especially for the low maps that you'll need before you can get any gear to really start scaling it with some investment. If you're struggling really hard with single target for some reason, you can use Lightning Spire Trap and a 4-link if you want to help. You honestly shouldn't need this, but it is still pretty good for sure if you're struggling a little bit. So, all right, let's say you don't want to do mines, you don't want to do ED Contagion, totems, spells, like you're really cool guy and you just want to do attacks or something more physical. I would definitely recommend a Gladiator Puncture build. It's super solid on League Start. It's a ranged build, which is really nice. You don't have to be close to anything, just like a spell. You just get to shoot it. It's going to hit everything and it's going to kill everything. It's really good for clear. Each action you perform should be killing everything you hit over time. So you don't have to, shoot twice to be killing a pack. It should kind of just be a one and done thing. Like the totems and mines a little bit, you can kind of swap some stuff out. So you can do split arrow if you want. You could do puncture with GMP for your clear. Kind of just depends on, whatever you're feeling is better for clearing, or if you need a little damage, whatever is better for killing the rares in those packs. A really, really nice thing about this build is the bleed explosions you get from being Gladiator. It's free. You get like, those cool bleed explosions. You kill a mob, it's going to explode, and all the other mobs around it are going to explode too. It's really, really satisfying to hear and to see those explosions. And it makes its clear even better than, what it would be without them. It's very, very nice. The single target on this, it's pretty nice. Whether you have Crimson Dance, which is the 8 bleeds keystone, but they don't take extra damage while moving or not. So right at the start, you honestly don't need Crimson Dance while you clear like white and probably even yellow maps, since it's not really needed till you really ramp up and want those high damage numbers in red maps or for bosses. Before Crimson Dance, you can use Ensnaring Arrow so that whatever's ensnared is always technically moving, right? It's the little green tendril thing. It's going to be kind of like pulling it and making it technically moving all of the time. Also, Ensnaring Arrow makes them take more projectile damage, which is very, very good. So, the single target isn't completely brain dead. You don't just sit there and spam puncture. You have to put, a few totems down, but that should be all right, right? I mean, you can get over that if you want to play a bow build and have a sick League start. The play style is very nice, right? It's a bow play style. You get to run around. You see a pack off of your screen. Oh, it's all the way over there. Boom, you just shoot it over there and you can run the other way. You get to do whatever you want. It's going to be nice in those fog packs. So that should be fun. It's not a spell, but it's pretty good. You do have to scale off of a weapon. You'll probably want to be picking up some fossils to craft a decent enough bow at the start of the League, but that's all right. You can just pick up whatever you want while you can. You don't really have to have a decent bow until you probably hit about yellow maps. So you should be fine. It'll be a little sketchy if you're not finding bow upgrades, identifying them, or sniping some of them off the auction house, or even crafting them. But it'll be fine enough if you don't really find anything. Lastly, if you want to just be a super cool guy, you want to be melee, I have a true melee build for you in the form of Two-Hand Cyclone. If you don't like spells, totems, mines, or bow, if you think melee is cool, then go ahead and play Two-Hand Slayer Cyclone. It has the huge upside for this Delirium League of being able to move all of the time while doing its damage, right? You never have to sit there and hit something. You're just going to be cycloning around. You're moving while you're doing damage, which is very nice. There are no animations, really, that you have to perform. You also count as channeling, which has a lot of pluses this League in the form of the new cluster jewels. They're going to be pretty nice on this channeling, right? They're going to be nice on a lot of stuff, but the channeling stuff, it's got some pretty decent stuff where you get like free endurance charges, for example. It's really, really nice. The downside is it's melee, right? You have to be pretty close to the mobs compared with spell or bow, where you can, see them in the top of your screen. You shoot over there and they're dead. You do have to like kind of run your way over there, leap slam, and then cyclone to kill them. But that's all right. You should know this getting into a melee build. The upside is you get a lot of survivability. You have Overleech, which is super awesome. If you've never played Overleech on your build before, it feels so good. You practically don't have to putz around with flasks as long as you're playing right. It's just really, really nice to have that Overleech going while you're clearing your packs, right? So you hit something, you leech your damage. If you hit full life, normally the leech from your damage goes away. But, this keeps leeching for, I think it's recently, right? It's like 4 seconds. So you get a lot of nice overleech, which is, it just feels good. Another plus to Slayer is you're going to be all physical damage, and they become physical reflect immune. You get to just roll your maps. You can, close your eyes, roll your maps, put them in the map device, and you're going to be perfectly fine every time. You get to do all of the map mods. Some of them will be tricky, right? But you're not going to just cyclone into a pack and kill yourself right away. It should be pretty nice. The single target's good, but again, like the bow, you're going to have to find a decent enough weapon. You're probably going to be more so with this build than the Gladiator Puncture. You're going to have to be swapping out weapons fairly quickly, so you're probably going to want to find your 5 link on a body armor. That's pretty much standard for a lot of builds, but you're going to be swapping your weapon out a lot, or buying a decent enough weapon in League Start. You kind of have to know what you need to look out for or what you need to craft. Anyway, I hope this was pretty decent enough. There is enough build variety in here. There should be something for everyone. Otherwise, if you think I maybe missed something that was really good, go ahead and comment that below. But personally, I think I'm going to be going with Essence Drain. Essence Drain Contagion, it's just going to be too good. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people playing it. Finding upgrades may be a little difficult, but I think the clear speed and, the kind of value you get for your actions performed on each of the packs is going to be more than worth it for, maybe a little price premium you have to pay to find your gear upgrades. But anyway, I appreciate it. I thank you for watching. We're going to be doing patch notes, so if you somehow catch this video before patch notes, hop in the stream. Otherwise, every day before League Start, and of course I'll be streaming after League Start, I'm going to be in my Discord. Feel free to join. We're going to be talking about builds. I'm going to look over some Path of Buildings. We're going to have a bunch of fun. It should be nice. And, we can all kind of practice our League Starts together and find out what really is going to be the best. And, share some resources and stuff. Anyway, I didn't want to keep you guys too long. You should be practicing. You should be planning. And you should be ready to have a lot of fun. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.